Sweet. Okay. Testing. So, hope everybody can hear me and see me. Just make sure we're doing okay. All right. All right. Well, if anybody out there can let me know if they can hear me and see me okay in the chat, that would be excellent. Before I start talking to myself and nobody can see or hear me, because that's how the internet goes. All right, hey Martin. All right, so Facebook is working. I'm on Twitch on my other computer, and it seems to be working. And I can only assume that YouTube is working. So great. Well, welcome everybody to the first episode of CanHammer TV. Yay! So this has been a endeavor long in the coming. Welcome Adam and Logan Grimnar and Matt Capelli. Thank you for watching. We are live right now on Twitch at Twitch TV /CanHammer_TV. And we are also simultaneously streaming to Facebook and YouTube Live, so you can catch us on whatever media that you prefer. I am trying to grow our Twitch channel from scratch. Our first bat rep was streamed last night, and we had 16 people watching at the peak. Crazy. 16 people want to watch me play Warhammer. That's kind of crazy. But anyway, so that was pretty good, and so we're trying to grow the Twitch channel. So do remember to follow us on Twitch. I don't believe anything costs you any money. We're not affiliated enough to cost money to follow on Twitch, and we won't be making any paywalls or anything. So, of course, if you do want to support what we do, we have the Patreon. So, welcome very much to the first episode of CanHammer TV. This is basically going to be a weekly or maybe bi-weekly show, just a sit and chat show with myself. And there may be guests, one or two guests, depending on what we want to talk about, or if anybody just wants to come on and chew the fat and talk 40K or Sigmar. So it's not always just going to be me, don't worry. Right now we're testing a new computer setup. This one, I have two computers set up, but OBS has issues with Macs, so I'm using an old PC laptop, and it seems to be working pretty well. We'll see when I try and get somebody else on Skype whether that works, because it was not working yesterday. So we'll see. I'm going to test that later with Chris, and if that does work, the first recently live streamed episode of the CanHammer podcast will be live tomorrow night, featuring myself, Chris, and Val Heffelfinger. We will be talking about Warzone Atlanta and going over the Orc Codex. So a really good episode of the CanHammer podcast tomorrow night, hopefully live streamed, but if not, out on iTunes and all that stuff, a couple of days later. So we'll see if the technology plays ball with us. So just check this chat. I think I see all the chats simultaneously. Nobody chatting on Twitch, that's fine. This restream business is pretty cool. It lets you stream on simultaneous platforms and gathers all the chats in one place. It's pretty cool. As I said, it's going to be about bi-weekly show where we're going to talk about all things recent tournaments, tournament coverage, look over lists, analyze factions. I do plan on getting this guy called LLV who covers tournament stats for Sigmar, and Peter Piccioni, who covers tournament stats for 40K. We can look at things like that. We can also look at hobby progress. We can look at new books coming out, Blacklight. We can talk about whatever people want to talk about. And so if you want me to talk about something specific, just drop me a message or on the Facebook or wherever. We can be sure to cover it or bring someone on who can cover it for you. Otherwise, I'll just talk about whatever I want. New releases and things like that. And we'll just see where this show brings us. You can see our cool little overlay now. We've got this little ticker at the bottom, which is going to tell you kind of the main topics for the show. It'll tell you who the guests are on for the show, links to some of our medias there. And yeah, Nick, welcome. You can definitely come on and talk hobby. You can flog your beautiful dice trays made of solid wood, mouse mat material, high visibility for streaming. Very nice. So definitely you can come on and talk about hobby. And yeah. So what I just want to mention now is how this is going to integrate with the YouTube and the podcast. So I already mentioned the podcast. The podcast will continue. We're trying to do it every week or every 2 weeks. That was way last week. So we'll just continue to try and do that. And Adam, hey, we won't be covering Titanicus because none of us have invested in it. It's too rich even for my blood, so sorry about that. And also, the issue is the more games I buy, the less time I have to play any of them. So trying to stay focused on kind of the main 3 games: 40K, Sigmar, Night Vault. But if there's a really cool game that comes out, we will be trying to cover it if we can. We don't do this full time. None of us do it full time, so it's really tough to find the time. So we're trying the best. So to go back to integration, so we'll be doing the podcast as usual. I will be putting out bat reps weekly, like I have been doing. Although I may alternate weeks, one live stream game and one formal YouTube bat rep, depending on how much time I have. I may end up moving the bat reps from Wednesday releases to maybe Thursday as well if I need Wednesdays for something else. I'm going to try and do this show on Mondays or Tuesdays at around this time after my kids go to sleep. As my kids get older, I can move it forward in time because I know 9 is a bit late for some people who may not be in the EST time zone. But we'll try and do it consistently Monday or Tuesday. I'll be putting the ads up on Instagram, Facebook, all the chat channels as I have been for this release. Hopefully it will become predictable for people. I can be streaming hobby if I'm doing some hobby, although I tend not to paint much when I'm actually talking, so I can't do 2 things at one time. Probably won't be streaming too much hobby, but certainly we can talk about hobby progress if people actually want to know about that. I have not been filming as many work in progress videos, mostly because I've not had that much hobby time, and I've just been doing ghosts for like the last 2 months. It's not that interesting. But if people want to talk about hobbies, we can certainly do that. Hobby-wise, I've been working on my mostly Sigmar right now. I've been working on my spell portals. And the thing about this spell portal, of course, is that it's for Hand of Dust. So it's going to have Nagash's hand and a little ghosty coming out of it for Hand of Dust action. There you go. I've been working on some chain rasps, and the reason why I like doing the night haunts, not only are they cool, they're easy to do, but also as a way of practicing airbrush technique, so that's been quite useful. I finished my 30 Grimgas Reapers, and I've been rebasing skeletons. So here's skeletons, basically chop the square off and put it on a circle. I put some texture paint on there, and I'm just going to smooth out those edges a little bit more so it doesn't look so crazy, but I'm doing 40 skeletons. So that's my current hobby. I was away last week on a cruise, which was awesome. Thank you for asking. Obviously didn't have much time to do anything last week. I didn't even pick up my Orc Codex till yesterday, so here it is, shrink wrapped. I got to break it open and read it for the podcast tomorrow, and then I'll be doing a read along for this. So Orc Codex will be coming soon. Sorry for the delay, but it was either like stay and read the Orc Codex, go on a Caribbean cruise. But it was a close fight. So if people have events that they want me to advertise for them, then just send me a message with the details, and I'm happy to flog it on the channel. That's no problem. And obviously you'll be knowing about our events. We do have Powerfist and Psychers coming up in 4 days. This Saturday, it's 24 people. I think we do have space for another couple of people if some people late signups want to happen. A couple of people dropped. But it will be ETC format missions, and it's going to be pretty good. Hosted down jointly with Sequence Comics and down in Brockville. And so that's pretty exciting. And hopefully I win. No, been practicing hard, so I think I have a chance, but stuff happens. So that's our next tournament. We are holding, it's not officially announced yet, but sneak peek, probably December 15th will be Age of Sigmar tournament down at Sequence in Brockville. And that looks like it's probably just going to be a small 16-man. But if people show us that there's enough Sigmar to support bigger tournaments, we can do that. So people got to show up and bring the goods. So that will be Day of Blood. And at PNP, we'll be unveiling our new Power Fist trophy, which was made by Jordan at Self-Propel Creative, and awesome, and painted by Ryan at 1 Year, 1 Army Painting. So that's going to be sweet, and every time somebody wins a PNP, they'll get their name on the bottom there. So Day of Blood will be in December, and then of course it's Christmas. January, we're looking to run another, there's the Canadian Shield run at Multi-Zone. That's 20 something January, a 2-day event, a GT, and then we're looking to run in February a 40 up to 60-70 man GT out of near Brockville for 40K, and then in March looking to run a bigger AOS tournament. Of course, end of April is CanHammer team time, so do keep that in mind. Get your teams together, because that usually starts to it looks like the Twitch is kind of bugging out a little bit. So that usually the registrations go up for that usually in around January, and last year sold out in 9 minutes, although it's going to be a bit bigger this year. So getting some yellow red flashes. I'm not sure what the cause of that is. Anyway, I'll just keep going. I'm not really sure what's going on, but and then of course we are just finalizing dates for Capital City Bloodbath way in August. So we'll hear about that for some time, but keep the mid to end of August free. Yeah, so if you have any events that you want me to plug, please let me know. I'm happy to plug it. We should make a little like Eastern Ontario or even Canadian calendar, event calendar. That might be a good idea. I don't know if somebody's good with calendars or spreadsheets. It's a good idea. Hook it up. Cool. So people are of course welcome to chat in their respective chats. The only problem with having kind of Facebook and YouTube and Twitch is that people are chatting on all the platforms and not chatting to each other. So maybe we should just disable the other chats and have people chat on Twitch. I don't know what people think about that. because the chat usually adds a lot to the show itself, because people can ask questions and that sort of thing. So might consider just having people chat on Twitch, and that would also be a Machiavellian way of getting people to follow on Twitch. So that was basically all I wanted to talk about. It was just a short show. I've got a little bit of a headache because I was up till 1:30 last night playing 40K on the stream, and I got up at 5 o'clock and didn't get a lot of sleep, and that equals migraine. So I'm not going to talk for too long tonight, but I wanted to give everybody a heads up on what's happening here at CanHammer TV and with the podcast and with the channel. And so hopefully everybody can join this wonderful endeavor of watching me talk to myself. Nice. So I'm going to cut it a little bit short tonight. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. But otherwise, I will wish everybody a good night, and hopefully see you guys tomorrow night on your favorite platform, live streaming podcast. If we can get this working. All right. Next time.